The other question was about the bass. So that's not rendered. That's rendered as well. That's gonna disappoint a lot of people. But I think it's the same principle of. Not gonna play over here. Well, it's definitely two sounds. I don't remember what synth is, but knowing me, it was definitely strobe, F expansion strobe, and probably silent one. The trick in this bass is done by two things. This awesome plugin here that I should never show to people because this is my personal weapon. Logic is not liking me at the moment. This is the homicide. Is a distortion. It's a multi-band distortion that, unlike multi-band compressors, I can use. You can basically compress a certain frequencies in a different way. So that gives. I'll try play to you in a second, but the distinctive sound of the Vision bass, it has some kind of organic kind of sound to it, and that's given by that distortion, and especially like messing around with a little bit of the phase. That's what happens when you split the bands and distort them. Another thing is shifting the oscillator on the on one of the sounds, on one of the synths. So let me quickly do it. I'm sorry if I keep going back to silent, but it's really just quick to use. Someone actually made a song with this sound. I swear to God. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, someone actually did it. That I would literally go on YouTube and play it for you, but I don't remember the title. Okay. So let's call this our main bass. The trick on the Vision bass is that it's the same. Who knows my track Sushi? Okay. Other people go buy it. The big bass after the break in Sushi basically has the same concept. So what happens is there's an oscillator going along with the main bass. So, but it's not playing the same note. Is playing 5 notes above that. Oh, sorry, that's octave. Actually, it's 5 note below, I think, in Vision. My keyboard is failing on me, sorry. So it's given different harmonics, but even if it's in a different key, it stays in the right harmony. And so it would be, oh, sorry, let me just write it down because it's not cooperating. This was Logic being stupid. There you go. So it's just giving harmonies and different kind of harmonics over it. And the glide kind of sound, it's given by the parameter here called portamento. So it's basically gluing the notes together, and basically it will play all the notes from the note that you're on to the one that you're going to. So if we play and then we're going to here, it's going to play all these notes. So you can hear it better if I turn it up. Okay, we can use it as an effect for to pitch up stuff. It's not the right way. We can still use it. In this case, it was a middle kind of. It keeps the bass more close together. It helps with the bounce, and of course, then we bring in that sound. Once again, release. It's gonna help having the sound going on. So definitely was a so. And now you can hear that the sound is definitely getting more like distorted and more organic. And then we can bring in. We can do like a whole bunch of things to make it more interesting, more organic. Then of course, well, this is just one layer. Let's see if maybe by I'm afraid that if I add strobe, Logic is just gonna crash. It's probably gonna happen. No. Wow. Now, of course, the distortion is it's completely different, and as soon as you touch something, the sound changes completely. But yeah, concept behind this, it was same reason. Sensei was based on basically just a bass. It was basically this track is done by this groove. It was definitely make the bass as interesting as possible, and if it would be just no distortion and no let's call it detune. It's not really a detune, but it would just be this, right? And okay, you can say, yeah, let's bring in the distortion. It gets more interesting. It's not the right distortion. We're just doing stuff really quickly, but I mean, it gets a little bit more interesting. But there's still some sparkles, and now you want to hear the high frequency, and okay, I could just be like, right, let's bring in the same octave, the same note, but just an octave or two higher. It still doesn't give that kind of sparkle that you might look for, right? So that didn't work. So I was like, okay, let's just make something similar to sushi, and it's really just a trick that was it's like a mini moog kind of thing back in the 60s or whatever. A lot of people would use the oscillator of the mini moog detuned by five semitones or seven semitones. Usually, what's always in key, it's 5 and 7. So let's just mute this for a second. It might not be in key with this kind of sequence, but fifth, and then there's the seventh. It doesn't really work with this. It works better in, which is basically the same thing because you're going up. A lot of songs in the 60s used to have this kind of detune setting on their synth. But yeah, the trick here is done by this note. This is what actually changed everything. And yeah, it's another one of those things that it's kind of really hard to spot. Like, I heard a lot of people trying to recreate this sound, and they just didn't get it because it's actually it's quite hard to perceive that as a different note because it's in tone, and it's not creating like a big chord where if you put something over that is not that is changing the key, it wouldn't work. It's just there creating some top kind of harmonics, but it's not too much harmonics that's gonna take out a tune your track. So yeah, that's pretty much the trick on the Vision bass.